So, good evening, you absolute legends. Those people who are listening on the replay, watching on the replay, particularly if you're listening on the replay, good, because you won't see this big spot that I've got on my face here. Those people watching, it's one of, I was just saying to Georgie, it's one of those spots. It's not on the surface. You can't squeeze it. You can't do anything with it. It's underneath. I'm lumbered with it. Looks like someone sort of punched me in the face. But they haven't, I promise you. There's probably a lot of people who want to. But they haven't. So how is everybody? I hope everybody's well. It is, as we record this live right now, for those watching on the replay, it's 3 minutes past 9 on the 27th of February, 2023. That means we've got one full day of February left already. Almost into March, almost like, we're getting on for like a quarter of the year done already. So got loads to talk about tonight around your career as an actor, making progress. If you've not had a fantastic first quarter, there's still everything to play for this year. Everything is up for grabs. You can literally change your career and your life. In a day in this industry. That's like the insane thing about it. Literally, your life can be turned upside down as an actor in a day through one email that you send, through one phone call that's made to your agent or direct to you, through one conversation you have with an actor, through one live mastermind call that we hold an act on this, and then you maybe take action and reach out to that casting director, that actor, that writer, that producer, whatever. So everything to play for. But I want to ask this question first of all before we carry on, because I sort of I teased this at the end of last Monday night's live broadcast. I've been doing these live broadcasts now for nearly 8 years or so, every Monday night, 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. I don't know whether to mix it up this year and move it forward an hour, because I'm just like, I don't know. I've just gone along with it. There was no plan to do this at 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. But I'm just aware, I don't know how you feel. Is it too late for people? Or would you prefer it 8 p.m. till 9 p.m.? Or are you watching TV at that point? Are you chilling on Netflix? What are you doing? I was just thinking, rather than getting everybody staying up till 10, whether you wanted to do it earlier. But let me know as the chat goes on tonight if you're here live on Facebook. And if you're watching on Twitter, just tweet me at ActOnThisTV, or you watch on the replay, tweet me as well, at ActOnThisTV. Just let me know if you want this moving forward an hour, if it would be easier for you to make it, if by 10 o'clock you're feeling sleepy. I know some people even watch this broadcast in bed. So let me know. That's the first thing that I wanted to cover. And Andrea's given me a top tip here. Frozen cucumber, rub it in your face and it will vanish. That bad boy spot overnight. Yes, well, Andrea, I've not got any cucumber, Andrea. I've got, what have I got in the fridge? I've got half an avocado. I could stick that on my face, but I'll get some cucumber tomorrow if that's indeed the case. Sarah says 9 p.m. is perfect. No, it's perfect, says, maybe everyone wants 9 p.m. Mark says 9 p.m. is a good time as well. Well, you know what? Forget it. Forget that then. Maybe we're just going to do 9 p.m. Unless there's loads of 8 p.m.ers, make yourself known in the comments right now. So this evening, absolutely tons and tons and tons to talk to you guys about. Lots of stuff going on over on the main website for members of actsonthis.tv. If you are not a member, you're an actor, you want to progress your career faster, you want to literally get coaching every single week from the biggest casting directors, the biggest directors, the agents, the actors, the writers, and ultimately producers, like the best people in TV. If you want me to bring them literally every single week to your house, you don't need to leave the house, you don't need to go to a workshop, you don't need to pay stupid amounts of money to sit for 2.5 hours and get like 30 seconds work in front of a casting director. A lot of overpriced workshops that are out there right now. Become a member of actsonthis.tv. Literally every single week we sit down on Zoom with the biggest names in the game, and I really mean the biggest names in the game, the biggest games in the name. We hold a private Zoom session basically that members of the community can get access to. You can jump on camera, have a little one-to-one time if you want. We literally will just ask the questions for you that a lot of actors are too afraid to ask, to really help push your career forward. There's currently over 400 hours worth of these Zoom recordings in the members area on actsonthis.tv. Super in-depth podcasts as well. And then every single week we give you a brand new Zoom call to come and get involved in. This Thursday night is a Showreel surgery live session with Mr. Chris Stone, who I believe, in my opinion, is the best showreel producer in the UK. If you're looking for a showreel, maybe you're just not happy, let me know. Actually, give me if you're here live. Give me a mark out of 10. What you feel, where you're at with your showreel, and don't say 10. There's always room for improvement, right? How do you really genuinely feel about your showreel right now? In a 2023 world, when was the last time you updated it? Are you super enthused about sending it out to casting directors, to directors? Are you posting it on Twitter? Are you really jumping for joy about it? Or are you, like, honest to God, probably 8 out of 10 actors that I speak to, unhappy with it, and just be dead honest, because there's so few actors I meet that are like, yeah, my reel's banging, I'm dead proud of it. Everybody's like, oh, well, I'm cobbling something together. I've got a couple of things that I did on a student film, but I'm not that happy with it. The sound isn't very good. I don't think it's to my casting type. The footage is 10 years old. And that's totally cool. Like, that you're in the majority if that is the case. But through these Showreel Surgery live sessions that we do, I really want people to take away particularly 8 points that we always go through on each session that will really, I promise you, 10x the impact that your reel is having on casting directors and agents that you're sending it to. So that's this week's session. It's going to be taking place at 7:30 p.m. till, oh, God knows, 9:30, probably 2 hours. We normally do 2.5 hours on these showreel surgeries. We play out actors' showreels. Chris walks us through what's right, what's wrong, how we can, make these reels have more impact. And if you're not a member, if you go to actsonthis.tv/trial, you can get a trial membership, 7 days for £1. Kick the tires and everything. No obligation to carry on, but I would highly recommend you do it. I might as well play out, to begin with, the trailer for this. This is me and Chris chatting about it. Have I got it? Oh, you know what? I don't even think I've actually lined it up for tonight. I should have. Oh, well, I'm going to sort that out while I'm playing out another video clip. Right, what I'll do is, let me take you over to actsonthis.tv, and I will hopefully be able to schedule that up whilst I just take you over to the site, because for those people who haven't been on the site for a little while, I'm in the members area right now. You will see our latest 5 features. Those people haven't been on one of these lives for a bit. There's been some wicked stuff going down. Last week's member-only session was with head of Hollyoaks casting, Mr. Peter Hunt. This is like a 90-minute session, and it is honestly a definitive guide to landing a role in Hollyoaks. Like, we take you through absolutely everything you need in order to get on the casting director's, the casting team's radar, exactly what they need to see when it comes to headshot showreels, exactly what to put in your emails when you're reaching out, the right kind of footage that Peter needs to see, for Hollyoaks, because obviously not every single thing that you've got on your showreel is probably going to be applicable to Peter and the team. How to nail your self-tapes in the room castings. So much good stuff was included in this chat. Let us know if you're here live, if you were on that call, and what you thought of it. And whilst I try and sort out this teaser for Chris Stone, I'll play out a little mashup of what you might have missed on the session with Peter. So where is it? Yes, I've got that one. I have done my homework. Right, I'll see you in this like 2 minutes. Here you go. Head of Hollyoaks casting, it's casting director Mr. Peter Hunt, back in the house after over a year. Peter, it's amazing to have you back. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you said over a year. It feels like 2 weeks ago.
Tonight, I want to make this the definitive session on landing a role in Hollyoaks. How many day player roles do you reckon you cast a year at Hollyoaks?
Let's go 10 a week.
10 a week. So it's over 500.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Could you take us through the team at Line Pictures? Tell us a little bit about each person and their role within the office.
So I'm head of casting for Hollyoaks and head of casting for Line Pictures. Jill is much more across the day-to-day of the scripts as things change, as they come in, reading storylines.
If you were an actor wanting to get on the team's radar via email, how would you do it right now?
I think it's much more better use of people's time to write 1 or 2 really good emails a week than it is to wake up on a Monday morning and go, right, I'm going to email 50 casting directors from the CDG website.
What do you need to see from an actor for Hollyoaks in particular? If you were an actor, what would you want on your reel to appeal to you?
I don't really want to see show reels of you doing an accent that isn't really yours, that you wouldn't be able to sustain. So I think try and find scenes that present you as who you are and what you can offer.
So I just wondered, usually in the casting process, how many rounds are there?
So all in all, they probably came in 3 to 4 times for auditions and then 3 screen tests. We want you to get the job, we want you to be good, but you've got to turn up and do your side of the bargain.
boom, adsonthis.tv. If you want to get your membership, you can literally unlock that session right now in the members area like I just showed you there. Honestly, for anybody who's looking for their first role, not just in Hollyoaks, but anyone who's looking for their first role like in serial drama, so we're talking like Hollyoaks, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, Casualty, Doctors, those kind of shows. So much of what we talked about within that session is applicable to all of those shows. Like, they're all cast in such a similar way. They're all very much of the same ilk when it comes to the day player roles that are available in each of those shows. If you're looking for your first TV role, you're probably going to be coming in, having a few lines as, the barman, the mechanic, the receptionist, the prison warden, the delivery driver, those kind of roles that just come up all the time. The coppers, the policemen, they are the same thing. Coppers and policemen, the coppers and doctors, I meant to say. Those kind of roles are coming up all the time in all of those shows. So much of what we talk about bagging one of those roles in Hollyoaks applies to all of those serial dramas. So do check it out. And if you were there live, let us know what you thought of that. I've got a couple of other videos I want to play from that session with Peter, just around email, when you're emailing casting directors, because I'm still getting emails from actors shit scared of emailing casting directors, like still to this day, and I've been banging on about this for the last 12 years. Every casting director who has been on adsonthis.tv has pleaded with people, please, they've said, we're only as good as the actors that we know, we need to hear from you, but still so many actors are afraid. So I've got a couple of clips that I'm going to play in a minute around emailing casting directors, and I've still not figured out how to line up this video from Chris, but I will do it. It might just be a bit messy. I might have to start playing out another video and then very quickly overwrite that video that's playing out with the teaser trailer for Chris Stone's Showreel surgery this Thursday. But you're cool with that because, it's live, innit? And that's what happens when stuff goes wrong. We just roll with it. And Richard Haler says, I always ask Chris to edit my work. Thoroughly recommend Chris Stone. Yeah, he's great. Chris is really, really good. Let's have a look. So let's see what else is going down in the chats. Nick says his reel's about a 7. Jenya says 7 out of 10 as well. Josh, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Steve Goodwany reckons his reel's at a 7. Tom's gone for an 8. Darren says his reel's a -50. Darren, we can get your reel up to at least a 7 pretty quick if that's the case. That's the thing, right? If your reel's currently an 8 or a 9, you reckon, like, that's pretty difficult to take it up to. It's never going to be a 10. If it's at an 8, to get it to a 9 is going to require some work. If your reel right now, if you're like, my reel's a 3, like, to get your reel to a 7, very, very easy. We can do that really quickly as well. We're gonna take you through an 8-step formula that I'm gonna hammer home yet again, because I'm still seeing people who I know join those Showreel surgery live sessions. We do them every quarter, and then still not implementing these 8 things in their reel. So I'm really gonna be hammering that home this Thursday. We're gonna go through each of those 8 points, and if I see anyone in our community who is still not implementing these really simple things, I'll be like, come on, like, what is going on? Let's have a look. Sally Ann says, I'm usually falling asleep before the end, so 8 p.m. would be much better for Sally Ann. Anyone else up for an 8 p.m. or is everyone else still 9 p.m.? For those people who are just joining the recording of this, just joining the live or watching the recording, I was just saying that I might bring these live broadcasts forward to 8 p.m. But it looks like lots of people still want them to stay at 9. Let's have a look what else is going down. Oh, so many comments here. Apologies if I'm missing any. Some just zoomed right by there. Georgie says that Peters was such a brilliant live, made so many notes about emailing. Sam said it's more the phrasing that she finds tricky. Would be great to have some redacted examples. Well, in terms of emails, I mean, let me just play you this. I literally just made one up on the spot to just, I said, Peter, would this kind of thing be okay? I mean, I've been sending emails to casting directors for the last decade, and it works. I've landed so many roles and auditions through outreach myself, but this is just a little clip on email content. It can literally be as simple as this, folks. You're an actor, you've never met Peter Hunt, you want to reach out, make a good impression in that first email. What are you putting in it?
I think it's much more better use of people's time to write 1 or 2 really good emails a week than it is to wake up on a Monday morning and go, right, I'm going to email 50 casting directors from the CDG website, which actually aren't that specific, and just basically say, hi, I'm an actor, give us a job.
So I go, hey, Peter, Just wanted to make a quick introduction. My name's Ross. I'm 40 now. I can't believe it. Honest to God, literally cannot believe it. So I'm a 40-year-old actor from Manchester. I don't know. Let's make something up. I've just graduated from such and such a place, looking for my first TV role. My casting type is, at the moment I seem to be playing authoritative, sort of professional characters. Wanted to drop you over, this scene that I just shot. In it, I'm playing a copper. I'm sure you need a lot of them in Hollyoaks. Would love to be considered if anything's coming from the next block. Hope you're having a great week, Ross. Something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I would add into that is whether we've met or not. Because if we've not, there's an intrigue there to meet. And if we have met, it's good to be able to put even more of a face to a name quickly.
Once again, @onthis.tv, get a membership if you want to unlock the full chat with Peter. But yeah, it can literally be as simple as that. Your introductory email is one thing I wouldn't do is include all the you knows that I put into that clip, because I was trying to think on the spot. I was going, I'm a 40-year-old actor, you can literally, you're just implementing the basics from that in an introductory email, which are, where, God, stop saying, which are where, you're doing it again. Which is your name, your location, ultimately, the sort of actor that you are, your casting bracket, your casting type. I'm going to not say through this. The kind of roles, that your casting type lends itself to in that case. Fingers crossed you will have shot some footage for your showreel, which is you playing those roles. This is what we talk about in this session as well. Targeting casting directors like Peter with specific footage. If you really play authoritative characters all the time and you are always the doctor, the copper, the businessman, the court clerk, the estate agent, the suited and booted characters effectively, make sure you're not just saying that in an email. You've got a couple of great examples of that on your reel so Peter can really see it. And if it is stuff that's procedural like Doctors and Coppers, separate that out from your main show reel. Have it as separate clips on your spotlight so that casting directors can go and literally just see that rather than wait into 1 minute and 35 seconds on your reel to see it. But you've got to get really, really specific. But your email can be super, super basic. You're just looking to introduce yourself. Like Peter said there, have you met before? If you haven't, then he said there, that's a bit of intrigue for him to, want to meet you if he's not seen your work before, want to watch your show reel, and then just the basics. You don't have to tell people your whole life story, how you've wanted to be an actor since you were in the nativity play, how you played a great Joseph in the nativity play, and all of this other stuff is literally, what you can offer right now. And then let your work do the talking by, sending Peter to your reel. So it can be really, really simple, but I think a lot of actors just overthink it and then they just procrastinate and then they just never send anything. And if you're not sending anything for fear of getting it wrong, then you've got it wrong anyway, because you're going to get nothing from not sending anything. And you can't really get email wrong, guys, unless you actually are crazy and you insult somebody on email. Like, you can't get it wrong. You just keep it brief, to the point, and make sure that they know you've done the research on them and the show. Pretty straightforward. Let's have a look. Joe says she needs to watch Peter. I left what's that? I left out as I don't look. You didn't put your play in it. What you say? You need to what? Email. What's happened, Joe? Have you already sent him an email but you left out your playing age and stuff? Is that what you're saying there? If you weren't on that session, re-watch that session before you reach out and say anything, anything to the casting team, because we also go through the whole team in that session as well. There's 5 people in Peter's office, so if you want to find out the names of Peter's casting directors, associates, and assistants, watch that session as well. And if you're part of the annual membership on Acts on This, if you have an annual membership or you're part of First TV or Fast Track, you will have access to the Ultimate Contacts database as well, which has the email addresses for literally every single casting director, assistant and associate pretty much in the industry, updated all the time. That got an update today. So if you've not downloaded that, then get in the members area, download a copy. If you are a monthly member of Acts on This and you're paying 24 quid a month, if you want to save 50 quid a year on your membership and get that database for free, you can't buy it, we'll never sell it, it's a reward for annual members only. Upgrade to an annual membership, you'll save 50 quid a year and you'll get that for free. It's taken us 100 hours to collate so far. And like I say, literally got an update today. So if you're sending emails out to people this week, download a fresh copy, just because there's been not major changes, but there's been a couple of changes around a few casting directors and some associates as well who have moved offices. We've updated that today. Shall we count how many times Ross says No, don't. Honestly, I couldn't not say it then. It was really hard. Really hard. At least it's not basically, says Sarah. I'd probably say basically a lot, Sarah, as well. It's funny, isn't it, how we just get filler words when we're talking. We just say, like, yeah, I just think even is funny. The amount of people, like, I do it. You just can't leave dead air. You have to fill it with a noise. And that's generally, We're crazy. Funny creatures. Matthew said, I've just joined the new casting platform. It's just been launched. It's called Casting Callback. It's free to join. He says, so far, so good. Well, that's now you get on with that. I always find it so tricky, though. I've seen over the years, been in the industry over 20 years now, so many casting platforms try and take on Spotlight. Not a single one has managed. Like, there's been some real valiant attempts. Casting Networks is the closest thing. They almost hit a tipping point of just over 20,000 actors on that platform. They had the backing of, obviously, their company in America. Casting Networks is a big American company. And they really, scared Spotlight. Spotlight had really sort of sat back on their laurels, and they've just they had a monopoly on the industry, and I think they just got complacent. And Casting Networks came in with some software that enabled casting directors to really streamline filming auditions in the casting room, and they gave them that software for free. And it meant that the casting directors could upload the sessions, the auditions, literally as they went. And that was a first that had never been done before. When I worked in casting, you had to record everything to a memory card, go and edit it, and then upload it at the end of the day. This would enable you to actually upload the sessions as you went. So if you finish your last session at 5 to 6, by 6 o'clock, you could actually go home. Whereas normally you finish the last session at 5 to 6, you'd probably spend an hour and a half editing that footage. And Spotlight shat the pants, I think. And then they started giving similar kind of stuff. They went away and developed stuff for themselves. But they're the only platform I've ever seen come close. And they didn't manage it. They didn't manage it at all. Spotlight are so ingrained within our industry. Good luck to any other platform who thinks they can take them on. It's not a battle I would want to put up with, to be honest. Just because you've got to win over every single agent in the industry to use your platform. They'll be like, well, what's the point when we've got it all on Spotlight? So now Spotlight's joining criteria is so little. Isn't it like 1 equity pack contract now? It used to be 4. I think Spotlight are like, look, we just need some money. So they just really reduced the joining criteria. I think that, that they're going to be a tough cookie to crack. But Matthew, keep us posted on that platform that you said you've joined there. It'd be interesting to see if they can get any traction at all. Let's have a look. What else is going on down here? Darren, your break's over. He's got to go back to work. I wanted you to stay till 10 o'clock, Darren, but we'll let you off. Come back next week, mate, or join the community if you can, and join us on some of our live calls. Would be good to see you, but have a good night at work, mate. Thank you for joining us. Georgie says, don't think anything will replace Spotlight, to be honest. It's going to be very, very difficult. I'd rather create something that would complement Spotlight as opposed to go against them. I think from a business perspective, you'd probably be better with some kind of joint venture than something that's going to try and take them on. I've seen so many platforms try and do it. The Page was one, a guy called Adam Piercy, I think his name was. He was a really nice guy. He tried to take them on with a really beautiful platform. I think Jason Broderick did he did a great job of the Hustle. He's got like a community around the Hustle. Had lots of members in it, but was more for like across the board actually, not just. I don't think it was just acting. I think there was dancers in it and other sort of niches within our industry. And that's still a big platform, but it's not just a casting platform. I'm trying to think what else there's been. I mean, obviously there's been Mandy, Star Now, Backstage. It's none of them, even with some serious venture capital, serious money, I've not been able to do it. So it's not something that I would want to create a business around. But there you go. Right, so I've looked at what to send, email-wise to people like Peter. This was just one more clip from this session that I thought actually a a lot of actors probably don't know about. And it's really, really simple. It's just about what time to send your emails and how you can schedule your emails. This is a really quick clip, and then I'll talk about it. If you were an actor wanting to get on the team's radar via email, how would you do it right now?
I'm thinking about this at the weekend, actually, because I was away for the weekend.
Okay.
But I still check my email.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, why are you sending emails at weekends? You know, especially with kind of the ability to schedule your emails. Don't email people at weekend. Think about it, whatever job that you do, whether you do shift work and you work in a coffee, you know, do you want people bothering you about work things, not during your working hours? And I think, as I said to you, to a certain extent, I'm always working because I'm still replying to bits that come in at 8 o'clock at night. You know, if you're dealing with America, that's a different time zone. And some stuff has to be dealt with. And if 3 a.m. is the right time for you to be doing emails, then absolutely that should work for you. But I would say, is that the best time to be sending it? So I think, for me, it's about when does it arrive? And the more I go through, the more I'm like, that has to be through working hours. Because I'm more likely to read it as well.
Yeah.
I'm
and
going
respond.
to be at a computer and on my phone. So definitely, the more I go on, it has to be working hours. And I actually say it's less likely to get read and less likely to get a response if it doesn't come in working hours.
That's on this.tv once again for the full session there with Peter. But yeah, so don't get it twisted. What he's saying there, he's not saying don't write your emails on a weekend or anything like that. He's not saying don't write your emails at 3 o'clock in the morning. You might be like Darren now, in work till God knows when, and then he finishes at 5 o'clock in the morning and he writes some emails on his way home or whatever. Peter's talking about when you send them. Okay, so write your emails whenever you want to casting directors. But, you know, Gmail, Outlook, probably every email platform out there, whatever you use, will have the ability to schedule an email or at least save it to drafts. And then it's just about choosing your battle about when you're going to actually send it so that it hits a casting director's inbox in working hours, which generally speaking for most offices is 10 till 6. It is in every casting office that I've ever worked in anyway. They start a little later, but they go a little later. It's not 9 till 5, it's 10 till 6 in a lot of offices. Sometimes we did early starts. But I think, sending within those hours, it just means the casting directors, a lot of them, if they're not in sessions, are going to be at their desk. They're going to be available to actually click on stuff and watch stuff. If it's a weekend and they're at their kids' football practice, then they're going to be like, I'm not looking at that right now. So schedule your emails, folks. It's very, very easy to do. And if you don't want to schedule them so they automatically send out, you can literally schedule on Gmail and Outlook, like send this Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. And then you can go about your business. It will do that for you. You don't have to hit send. It's done. It'll just happen. But if you don't, want to do that, you can literally just save your emails to your drafts. And then when you want to send them manually, pull them up at the right time and then just send them off. So just something that we've not really spoken about on a lot of sessions. And I don't know, if everybody knows that their email platform will enable them to do that, but, most will. It's completely free. It's not like a paid add-on or anything for any email platform. Gmail does it so well. I use Gmail for mine. So yeah, just little heads up there about when you're actually sending your emails. Sarah says, remember Castnet? Yeah, Sarah, do remember Castnet. My God, yeah. I guess they're not still going, are they? Do a little Google, Sarah, see if Castnet is still going. What I found out on Castnet was they generally just sort of like recurated the castings that were on Spotlight and stuff like that, the ones that they could get away with. I didn't ever see anything new on Castnet. But do you know what? They were like, if you weren't on Spotlight, they were actually all right. They had a few things on there that were pretty decent. But I think they had a member of the team who had access to Spotlight and was just robbing all the briefs of Spotlight and copying them over. Anyone who's really old school will remember a printed newsletter called PCR. I don't even remember what it stood for, but it was printed in red ink, and it basically was like 4 pages, and you get it every week. It was really expensive though. I think it's about 16 quid a week, and it would have just sort of like little listings of things that were going into production and stuff like that. And it was printed in red ink to try and stop you photocopying it, because if you photocopied it, red ink didn't come out very well because it was really, really light grey or something like that. But that was proper old school, really old school. Sam says, can you schedule on Hotmail? I'm sure you must be able to, Sam. I don't use Hotmail for sending any emails anymore, but just Google, schedule email, Hotmail. I'm sure you'll be able to, definitely. Jo says she I can't speak tonight. She saves hers to draft and then sends them when she does it. That's another way to do it, absolutely. Yes, Tom, I can remind people about Saturday. So, oh my God, it's this Saturday, isn't it? Wow. Okay, yeah, I need to send some reminders out as well. This coming Saturday, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, the 4th of March. Wow. Is our first in-person Act on This meetup of this year. I'm hosting the Manchester one for any members of the community. You've got to be a member of actonthis.tv. If you're a member, I'm hosting the Manchester one at 53.2, the theatre in Manchester. Beautiful bar. We've got a whole area to ourselves, got some couches. We can have great coffees and drinks and cakes and all this sort of stuff. It's literally an informal meetup where we just come and chat. Just get to meet people, ultimately. I think it's really, really important. So much of this industry is predicated on who knows you. Not who you know, but who knows you. Come and meet people, get them to know you. I'm hosting that at 53.2 in Manchester, and our legend here, Tom, probably helped out by Andrew Lorden. I'm guessing, Tom, you've probably got him on board this time as well. They're hosting the meetup in London, same time as us, Tom. Ours in Manchester is 11 till 1-ish. Are you doing the same, Tom, in London, 11 till 1-ish at the Ice Wharf in Camden? It's like a big bar. They held the Christmas meetup there as well, but it went down a treat. So yeah, Tom, I'll print some graphics out this week, actually, mate. I'll post them in the Facebook group, and I'll send you over some stuff to print out so you can put signs up at the bar when you go. But yeah, let us know if that's the case. If it's 11 till 1, the Manchester one is 11 till 1, and he's got a date filming on his short film in London. Nice one. Good work, Tom. That's wicked. Cast Web, says Joe. Was that another one? Castnet and Cast Web. Bloody hell. See what I mean? There's been so freaking many, haven't there? How do you write a cover letter to a casting director, says Matthew? What do you need to include in the letter? As I've never written one. Matthew, if you dive into any session on actonthis.tv, you literally, if you've not been a member or you're not a member, if you get a membership and you dive in to the session down here with casting directors, literally the biggest casting directors in the game walk you through this in every single session. It's slightly subtly different for every single casting director. Some like different things. But we've got there's massive casting directors there. Peter Hunt from Hollyoaks. We've got Victor Jenkins, who casts huge dramas. Daniel Edwards, who just won an Emmy recently for Heartstopper. BAFTA winning Aisha Bywaters. Emmy-nominated Jill Trevelyan of Downton Abbey. Casualty casting director Roland Beckley. We've got Kate Bone, who casts with Robert Stern things like The Crown, Chernobyl. Massive stuff. So dive in at any of those sessions and you will learn all about how to write a cover letter. But ultimately, you really need to just look at how you can solve a casting director's, casting problems. Look at how you can be a solution for the problems that they're facing. So many actors just dump another problem on a casting director. So they go, hi, I've no idea what I'm doing. I've no idea what my casting type is. I've got a short film here. I'm in this scene at 35 minutes and 20 seconds in. I'd love to be considered for anything. And they expect, a casting director to go and figure out the casting type, to watch that film 35 minutes in and see the 20 seconds of it that they're in, decipher, where they should put them in their show, and then reach out to them and offer them an audition where they're going to get paid thousands of pounds to do it if they get the job. It's really ludicrous. So many actors just feel that's what they should do. I don't want to pigeonhole myself by telling them my casting type. They can work it out. It's like, don't look at it like that. You're helping them understand who you are and what you are as a product, where they can put you in their show, how you can sell yourself. So for me, it's about really understanding the industry and knowing which casting directors cast which type of shows. Each casting director has a style. They have a kind of show that they cast. You'll always find Daniel Edwards cast some slightly kind of edgy. It's always big stuff as well, but it's the more edgy, sometimes dark. I'm trying to think how else I can describe it. Kind of the edgy youth shows, things like Born to Kill. He did, obviously he's on Heartstopper. It's not really edgy, but it's very, sort of progressive in terms of its casting, all around LGBTQIA plus stuff. You'll find people like Andy Pryor very often does well. He teams up a lot with Russell T Davies. Basically, anything Russell T Davies is doing, Andy generally will cast. All of the Netflix shows that Harlan Coben does, like Priscilla John, will always cast those. Every sort of casting director has their thing, their kind of style. So it's knowing the kind of shows that they cast. Like Sophie Holland, very much fantasy stuff. The Witcher, Shadow and Bone. I think is that Sophie as well. I think it is. Has recently just done You on Netflix as well, though. Wednesday, Sophie cast. When you know what all the casting directors are casting and their kind of thing, you know sort of how to pitch yourself to them. If you're just sending the same blanket email to every casting director, you're going to lose. It's not how the industry works. You've really got to look at these people as your customers. You are selling them a product, which is you, and it's how can I put my best, the best version of my products in front of this customer so they'll make a sale. So it's pretty nuanced and it's different in each case. It's like Peter said there, it's better to send 2 or 3 really well thought out emails a week, where you've really thought about what it is you're sending. Maybe you want to change your headshot on Spotlight for a particular casting director because you think it will resonate more with them. You might have 4 Spotlight headshots. And when you're, writing to these 2 casting directors this week, you're going to change your main shot to this particular shot because you're selling yourself, to Peter Hunt as a midwife this week. And so you're going to put a shot on where you're looking much more, warm and caring, as opposed to a shot where you're not. You can get really, really kind of scientific with it almost. Where you really dive into marketing and like look at how you can really sell yourself in a unique way to each person. So that's why it's probably not best to go after 50 people all at once. But if you dive into any of those sessions, mate, you will learn all about it. It's what we cover every single week. Definitely. Let's have a look. So, Tom's meetup's later than ours. So the London meetup's 2 till 5 because they're clearly getting alcohol involved. Mine's 11 till 1 because I'm all about the coffee. So yeah, London is a little bit later for those London folk, but I'll put all the details in the Facebook group tomorrow, definitely. But if you keep an eye on the Facebook group, and if you're a member of ActsOnThis.tv, keep an eye on your email. I'll drop an email through to everybody as well. Definitely. And thank you, Georgie. Yeah, Sophie Holland did do season 2 of Shadow and Bone. Suzanne Smith did season 1. That's what I'm talking about. That's the industry knowledge you need to take on the industry and win. So many actors are like, I want to be in all these shows. They've no idea who casts what, who's responsible for what. It's like it's entitlement in a way. Just to think that you in any other walk of life, you do so much research on your tools, your materials, who your customer is. If you were setting up any other business, but actors are just like, I don't know, it's almost sort of like creatives. And I think it is a thing actually. I think genuinely personality types. Creatives do struggle with more logical, kind of analytical business, side of their brain. But if you can really sort of, nurture that and at least get in touch with it and just improve, you stand such a better chance of actually having your creativity seen by people. So that's Peter Hunt. Anyway, we've covered a few of the things that we looked at in that session. If you want to land the role in Hollyoaks this year, God, you will 10 times your chance of doing that if you watch that session on ActsOnThis.tv. So check it out. If you want to get a trial to the site, like I say, ActsOnThis.tv/trial, come and kick the tires for a week. You don't have to carry your membership on. I know you'll want to if you do it. So many people tweet me once they've got a membership, why did I not do this earlier? But that's just it. That's just how life is. But yeah, do check it out. Next couple of things I want to look at. Oh, okay. So, I've been I've been talking about this for ages. I've been mulling it over for ages. I've known I should have done this earlier. And Matt Hall, who I had on recently, high performance mindset coach Matt Hall, I did a really in-depth podcast with Matt, all about mindset, really sort of, cultivating a bulletproof mindset and psychology to win in this industry. Me and Matt teamed up together to do a program last year for actors called Bulletproof Actor. If you go to bulletproofactor.com, you can learn all about that. But Matt's been banging on for ages, and so is every single person I meet, basically, who's anything to do with the internet, about TikTok. And for years, I've been like, particularly when TikTok was a platform called Musical.ly, which was just a lot of 13-year-old girls dancing on it. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be a great platform. Like, I don't know if there's any value here at all. And now I'm just seeing it blow up more and more and more, and more high-profile actors are on it. More people are creating comedy on it, are putting sketches out there, dramatic pieces, or even creating like films via TikTok. And I'm like, holy shit, we need to get involved in TikTok, because like Matt's been showing me this week some stuff that he puts out. His stuff's obviously all around mindset. It's not creative stuff necessarily, although producing it is creative, but it's more factual stuff. And like his videos are getting, some have had over 100,000 views in a week, and I'm like, wow, there is massive, massive, massive potential here. So I put out my first TikTok today. Now, not me personally. Act On This has a TikTok now, at Act On This TV. It's the same as it is on every other social media platform. But I honestly think, folks, like, this is a platform that we all really need to explore creatively. And also, if you have any side hustle business supporting your acting career, if you're not putting content out on TikTok to get business leads, I think you're making a huge mistake as well. So I am going to be posting more and more content on TikTok, which will be obviously acting career advice related, little reels from our podcasts, from our Zoom calls, all that sort of stuff, just stuff where I'll turn the camera on myself and just talk about what's going on in the industry. So if you're on TikTok, follow at Act On This TV. I will follow you back if you're part of our community, because I want to see what you're putting out as well. But I'll just play you this TikTok that I put out today. It's just a little bit. It's literally like a 27-second clip, because that's what I've noticed on TikTok. Videos are really short. So whereas on Twitter, I'm used to putting out like 1 minute 30, 2 minute videos. Like, no one wants to see that on TikTok. They want to see 60-second videos, sometimes 20-second videos. If 60 seconds is really pushing it, to be honest, it's all very, very short form content that's just, got an instant payoff. If it's comedy, the comedy is very evident within 15 seconds, of that sketch or whatever. So this is the first TikTok that's just me and Matt talking about life not being fair. And I want to talk about this a little bit tonight, because I'm like, life isn't fair, but you know what? Like, that's kind of okay. So here's what we put out. It's 27 seconds.
Let's be real. The industry is not fair. Life is not fair. Is moaning about it not being fair doing anything? No. All right, it might make you feel a little bit better for 20 minutes. And by the way, if you want to get a load of other actors to complain about the injustices of the industry, you can get that very, very easily. And what that will do is give you a little dopamine high, because you've got other people saying, you're right, it's shit, and validating your opinion.
Yeah.
Is it going to help you? No.
Say, you're right.
Oh, I'm playing it. I was playing it here then. I was watching it, and it ended very quickly. I forgot how short it is. It's only 27 seconds. But yeah, that's just a little clip from the podcast that me and Matt did. That's available in the members area right now. I'll play the trailer out for that in a minute if you've not seen it already. But yeah, I'm just sort of like, I've had a lot of emails from actors and just conversations recently. And I get it, because it's freaking tough, innit? You know what? Life's tough. Not just that. I think that's another thing as well. We think as actors, we've somehow got a raw deal. Like, oh, our industry's so hard. It's like, shut up. Like, life's hard for everybody, right? But to be brutal, I'm just seeing a lot of people complain. Put posts out on Twitter about injustices and how, like, this isn't right. And that's actually all they're doing. They're not actually investing in themselves, skilling up, becoming more capable to really take on the issue, or to really jump that hurdle that they feel is blocking them in their career. And me and Matt just talking that in that podcast there about like that life isn't fair, and it's almost entitlement to think that it is. When you look around the world at what's going on in other parts of the world and what other people are facing, and yet and I include myself in this sometimes as well, we can really lose sight of that, and we can be derailed and be so audacious to have a shit day because we didn't land a job that we self-taped for. It's pretty laughable, isn't it? It's pretty crazy. And what you can do, what Matt's saying in that clip there, is you've got a choice. You can surround yourself with 5 other actors who are doing the same thing, and you can all have a pity party and feel like shit. Or you can surround yourself with 5 other actors who are like, tenacious, who have developed resilience, who are up for skilling up, realize that every no is one step closer to a yes, and are going to take action consistently on a daily basis to get what they want. So I think, perspective. Sometimes I think a lot of the content that I'll put out on that TikTok channel is going to be about perspective. It will probably, what I want sometimes, and I know some of the content that I put out is going to sort of like twist the knife a little bit on people. So like actors who maybe aren't where they want to be. And I only know this because it has the effects on me sometimes. It'll be a case of, you'll be like, oh, fuck, like, you'll almost want to kick back and be like, oh, no, but it's not fair. You don't know my situation because of this, and this. But actually, we only do that when we know. I only do this anyway. I can speak for myself. If I watch a piece of content and it has that impact on me, where I'm like, "Fuck you," you don't know my situation. It's genuinely coming from a place because it suffocated the thing that I was using as an excuse not to get any further or not to do something. It's almost called me out. So my reaction is because that piece of content makes me lose a bit of significance, where I'm like, oh shit, you're right. I could be doing more. I did just fold like a cheap chair yesterday and give up. I should carry on. Like, I can believe more in myself. Because it calls that out, sometimes you lose significance and you want to hit back. And you might be like, oh no, but like you want to try and justify why it's different for you. And it's not sometimes. It's like life is hard for all of us, regardless. And there's so much going down in the world that's absolutely far worse than anything that could happen in our industry. So I think a lot of the content I'll put out, it won't all be like that. But sometimes, I can imagine I'm probably going to get some comments from people who just will be like, what? But it's just because I think you're suffocating their excuses. I put a piece of content out the other day about self-tapes. I got loads of shit for it. And what I was saying is, it was a pie chart and it showed you, I wonder if I can find it actually. Let me just show you this. And give me some feedback here. Because I don't want to upset the whole industry. But all I do, because I feel like I speak to more actors than most people speak to, I'm like, I just put stuff out where I'm like, this is a problem that I'm seeing time and time and time and time again. Here you go, I've got it. So let me show you this. If I go to my Instagram, I'll share my screen with you now, and let me know if you agree with this or not. And it's totally okay not to agree, because I'm not always right. I don't think I am. But I'm putting loads of content out on Twitter, on Instagram, by the way. Do follow at on this TV on Instagram. Look at this. Does this resonate with you? It says most actors self-tapes, and it's got a pie chart there. For those on the audio experience, it shows you a little pie chart, and 75% of the pie chart says effort put into setting up the lights, camera, and backdrop, and then 25% of the pie chart says effort put into character development. And this is what I see crippling actors and crippling their self-tapes, because they're so focused on their lighting setup, and it is important. So have a self-tape looking good is important, but not to the point where you're obsessing about it. A self-tape shot in front of a window in daylight with the daylight on you is just as good as, having some expensive lights on you. Your iPhone is just as good as a DSLR camera. It's your acting that's really going to speak volumes for you. We just got to be able to see you clearly, hear you clearly, and ideally you be on a plain backdrop, which can be a plain wall in your house or a hung bed sheet. You don't have to have a backdrop that's 50 quid. Hang a bed sheet up. But I got a load of kickback on this because not loads, a few people agree with me, but I got a few kickback going, oh, but self-tapes are so difficult because casting directors are expecting you to do this, that, and the other. And almost, I wanted to say, why are you even an actor then? That this is what you are required to do. So everything that I put back to them, and I was really kind and really nice, they came back with another argument about why it was so difficult for them, or I don't even have a plain wall. And I'm like, well, you can find the plainest bit of the wall that you've got. Ultimately, the post was about not focusing so much on the perfect setup and actually having time to develop a character. And I know you can't develop a character properly in 24 hours if your self-tape's got to be in the next day. But I was reminding people in that post, if you remember when we had Andy Morgan on actsonthis.tv, this is really useful to think about. He was casting some really small police roles, and the police character probably only had 6 lines or something like that. Okay, so a small role. You wouldn't think lots of character development could be done on a role like that. But the character the policeman was speaking to was a suspected child abuser. Now, Andy asked every actor who came in for that role, and it would have been the same on a self-tape, doesn't matter, you still approach the preparation the same way. He asked every actor whether that policeman that they were going to play had kids or not, and not a single one of them had thought about it. And he was using that as an example to say, listen, if that policeman is going to go and talk to someone who is accused of abusing children, they're going to talk to them in a subtly different way if that officer has kids of their own. Because I imagine, and I don't have kids, but I imagine you would think, oh my God, well, how would I feel if this person had touched my kids? You're going to have a different feeling towards that person than if you don't have kids. If you don't have kids, you're still not going to like that person, obviously. But I think it's going to be more visceral, if you have children. And it's that I'm saying in that post that's important. I'm not saying, oh, go and, do 10 hours of character development. I'm saying just have a think for 10 minutes around, that character you're playing, what's their background, what's their family life, where do they work, and you won't know this information. Sometimes you just got to literally make it up for yourself, because it will add something to your performance, if you actually, do create a more three-dimensional character. But I got loads of shit in the comments, and I was like, look, if you don't want to play this game in terms of, you think self-tapes are that bad, like, that's, no one's put a gun against your head and said you've got to be an actor, and you should be grateful for the self-tapes that you're getting, regardless if you've got to do them in 24 hours. Like, you just do what you can, don't you? Because everyone who's got that tape is in the same boat. That's something people forget. They're like, well, listen, if you can do a good job of that tape, you stand such a good job of getting the role, because you're all up against it. And maybe a couple of actors will just fold and go, I can't do it. Can't do it in 24 hours. So the 3 that are left, you've got a 33% chance then of landing the job. So let me know what you think. I'm never being facetious or like kicking off. I'm just sort of trying to crush people's excuses, suffocate their excuses for why they can't do things. Because I just think, you're way more in control of your career than a lot of people actually give themselves credits for. Let's have a look. What you saying here, Mark? What's happened? Just sent my first self-tape for a student movie and nailed my first role with my first self-tape. Oh, Mark, congrats, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, man. That's really, really good then. Definitely. Let's have a look. Joe says life is hard for all. But you're just talking about disability and stuff there. But, everybody's got their bag of shit in it that they're walking around with, and look at what's going on in the world. Look at that earthquake in Turkey and Syria. Look at, Ukraine. Just look at what's going on in the world. And people are moaning about self-tapes and 24-hour deadlines. It's like, come on, get some freaking perspective here. You would definitely live a happier life. Georgie says that's a fair point. Terry says, and their costume and hair and makeup being the main focus instead of the character. Claire says absolutely right. We have what we need inside of us, right? Yeah, absolutely. Everything. I always say that everything you need is within you now. You've got the courage. You've got to have the courage to see it through. Definitely. But yeah, I think we just got to approach this industry. And our community is really good at doing it anyway, in terms of, I think we have a really positive community acts on this. Like, we always make positivity louder, but I think you've just got to approach this industry with a real can-do attitude. Otherwise, and cynicism, God, just cynicism will kill your career way faster than anything else. Cynicism will just kill success instantly. You've got to drop that at the door. People are so cynical about stuff in this industry, and it's like, look, come on, just let's not, whinge about how we wish it was. If we play with how it is, and then again, like, you upskill and you gain more capabilities, then you can be the change. But actually, just tweeting about it and being angry is not going to get anybody anywhere. Let's have a look. Any other comments here? Sharon says if you learn the character, then you should find the lines easy because you are the character. Yeah, I think you can relate to the lines better if you feel like you've built more of a character. And it's not about, like I say, going and God and getting all method and doing hours and hours and hours of research. I'm literally like 10 minutes before you shoot the tape if you're on a really tight deadline. But a lot of people will spend that time just making sure that the camera's perfect and the lights are absolutely perfect, and then it looks good, but there's no substance to the to the tape. And Andrew's got a great point. He says a self tape is doing your job. Yeah, this is your job. Don't complain about it. Like, it is your job. You signed up for this very, very thing. Definitely. Caroline says totally. I focus on character first, as it helps with learning the lines. You get more where they are coming from. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, well, that's good because but yeah, I'm going to be posting a lot of content ultimately on TikTok. So if you are on TikTok and you're already using it, do follow at on this TV. I will follow you back. And also, what I think Matt's very, very good at TikTok. He knows a lot more about it than me. I don't know if this would be beneficial for people. What I did years ago, so before even lockdown, I've obviously been using Facebook and Instagram and What else have we got? Twitter, for years. And I've got a really, really good grasp of how you can, build your career on those platforms. We did a course called Social Media Deep Dive. It was actually an in-person event for just 21 people in Media City. We took 21 people through how you build your acting career and ultimately build awareness for your projects if you're shooting your own stuff. It was a full day. We recorded it. And that's actually another freebie that annual members of Acts on This get now. We never sell that course. I said I'd never sell it. It was just for the people who came on the day. And then, people who are an annual member get access to the recording of that. But I was thinking, I don't know if this would be useful. It probably would be in person again. So we would be limited on the places. But I'm thinking maybe of hosting a day in Media City. It would probably be for about 20 people again, 20, 25 people, where we just cover TikTok strategy, basically. If you're an actor, it would be more for the actors who want to create their own stuff. They want to create their own audience. It's not necessarily about how you sell yourself to casting directors on TikTok. It's not about that. It's about how you actually create your own audience. So when you're creating your own projects and maybe you're a comedian, you love doing comedy sketches and stuff, it's how you can get eyes on your work that would lead to much more opportunity, both in and out of the industry, not just direct work with casting directors, but, having your own work commissioned eventually as a writer / director, actor type person. So let us know if that's something that you'd be interested in. I can talk to Matt and see if we could do that. It would be a very limited kind of thing, but it's something I really want to learn more about. I think it's a hugely powerful platform. Even though I think isn't everybody kicking off on the news going delete it? All the UK politicians are like delete it, China own it, and they know all about it, and they're gonna come and kidnap you or something. I don't think TikTok's probably going to be the end of the world. But if it is, we might as well go down making comedy sketches on the platform anyway. So so let us know. Let us know if you'd be interested in that. Lolly says she'd be interested. Sam says definitely. So yeah, let us know if that would be something you'd be up for. Georgie said we'd definitely be interested in that. I already create content on YouTube, etc., but that would be so good. Joshy, how you doing, mate? Aren't you going to New York? I didn't know you flew Virgin Atlantic. And congrats on your TV job as well, mate. I was at the read-through for Fool Me Once. I played Michelle Keegan's husband in the read-through. Unfortunately, not in real life. And it's great, man. The scripts are so good. So I know you said you've got a role in that. So congrats, man. That's wicked. But yeah, I'm flying to New York in May on Virgin Atlantic. So maybe if you're flying that day, you can be on the you can be on the same plane. I can be on the same plane as you. It's more your plane than it is mine. But yeah, that's wicked, mate. Enjoy New York. I've only been once. I bloody love the place. I'm going to Indianapolis, but we have to fly to New York first and then connect. Caroline will be interested in the TikTok thing as well. Yeah, as I say, it'll only be for probably 20 people. We might record it and then let people have access to the recordings. But if you're there in person, we'll be coaching you personally with your stuff. So it'll be like, right, how what do you want to achieve on the platform? And I can also cover as well. I can cover Twitter and Instagram. It's changed so much since the last program that we did. So I'd love to do that again. To be honest with you, that would be really cool. We could do it at a push. We could do it on Zoom and just share. Sort of like share. I could share my phone screen and stuff like that. But I think doing things in person when it comes to social media content is really useful because we get people to literally turn their phones on, turn them around on themselves, and make content that day whilst we're there to show you how to do it. So that's pretty cool. Right, so Sharon will be up for that as well. Nice one. I want to play you. What have I not played you? What I'm going to do, I'm going to play the trailer out here for Matt's podcast, the clip I took before from that podcast on about life not being fair. I've got the trailer for the full podcast here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play this out, and then to change the video to the teaser for Chris Stone's Showreel Surgery this Thursday so you can hear about that, I'm going to change the video at the end of this. So what will happen, this video will end, the video will go off and the screen will be blank for a little second. So if you're on the audio experience, you're not going to hear anything after this video for a little minute. It's not broke. It's just me lining up the next video. I just can't line it up until a video is played out because of the way this software works. So here's this teaser trailer for Matt's podcast. If you've not listened to this or watched this, please watch this. It's 2.5 hours of pure gold. We cover so much around the acting industry, mindset, psychology, high performance mindset, and life. We even go deep on relationships at one point. But after this, I will play straight after that the trailer for Peter, and then I'll come back on camera and we'll finish up. But I'll see you in a sec.
See adversity as the best chance to improve your life.
What do you see f***ing actors up right now?
Blaming their agent, blaming the industry, blaming other actors. Pass the blame, you pass the power. If you get in a soap, you want to be in a drama. If you get in a drama, you want to be in a film. If you're getting your validation from things that are external like that, you will never, ever, ever feel enough.
Is ambition itself a blessing or a curse?
The answer is...
There are some real fucking con artists in the acting industry just out to take 60 quid off 25 actors for some bullshit workshop that they know is going to take them nowhere.
Do your research into this person. Are they who they say they are? Get testimonials. Sometimes you learn through getting shit wrong.
How do you find something else that you love that is not acting?
There is so much opportunity right now on TikTok, on social media, on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and so on, that does not require you to get a yes from any casting director. Every day you can do something to change your life.
Actors, if you are looking to audition for and potentially land a role on Hollyoaks this year, you better listen up. I want to invite you to our next actonthis.tv live mastermind session. It is taking place on Tuesday, the 21st of February at 7:30 p.m. Screwed it up, folks. I screwed it up. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, God. I put Peter Hunt's on instead. Right. Don't go. Honestly, this is going to be worth it. This will be worth it. I promise you. Right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put on, oh, God. I'm going to put on the start of that you just saw, which is the Peter Hunt trailer, which is already out of date. And I'm going to take it off your screen. Then I'm going to put on Chris Stone. Right, are you ready for this? Bear with me. This will just be a laugh. It could go completely wrong either way. If you're listening on the audio experience or you watch on the replay, just this is how you don't do a live broadcast. I'll see you in a second. Right, I'm going to try really hard to do this. Here we go. It's going to play out that Peter thing. Ignore it. Then it's going to change into Chris Stone. Let's go.
Let's be real. The industry is not fair. Life is not fair. Is moaning about it not being fair doing anything? No. All right, it might make you feel a little bit better for 20 minutes. And by the way, if you want to get a load of other actors to complain about the injustices of the industry, you can get that very, very easily. And what that will do is give you a little dopamine high because you've got other people saying, you're right, it's shit, and validating your opinion.
Yeah.
Is it going to help you? No.
Actors, we are well into 2023 now, and if you are not landing the auditions you would like to, or the meetings with agents you're looking to sign with, it might be down to your showreel. If that is your suspicion, I want to invite you to our next Act on This Showreel Surgery live session. It's taking place on Thursday, the 2nd of March at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom with this absolute legend here, in my opinion, the #1 showreel producer in the UK, Mr. Chris Stone, back again. Chris, thanks so much for being here. Tell them how this is going to work.
Well, we're going to be looking at 5 Act on This members' showreels. We're going to be doing a bit of a deep dive, dissecting them, figuring out what works, what doesn't, so we can get them in the best possible shape so they can have the biggest impact with casting directors and agents.
I love it. So succinct. And we're also going to be taking you guys through, once again, and we're going to do this so definitively on this session, an 8-step process that I guarantee if you put it into your showreel, okay, it's very easy things to implement, you will have, genuinely, I think you will have literally, I was going to say double, but 10 times the success that you're having now with your reel if you just implement these 8 simple things moving forward. If you want to get involved in this session, get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and all future Zooms as well. We do this every single week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers in TV, the best people here to help you push your career forward literally every single week. So actonthis.tv/live for that. And then Chris, you're used to me putting you on the spot now. You've done this plenty of times. Why don't actors want to miss this showreel surgery in particular?
You don't want to miss this one because it's almost spring. So we're going to help your showreel spring forward if you watch this.
That's so Alan Partridge. I love it. I love it. He definitely prepared that. Be there, actors. Let's spring your reel and your career forward a million times. Be there. actonthis.tv/live. Right, so I got it wrong. Peter Hunt ended up looking a bit like and sounding a bit like Matt Hall. And it ended up being on a TikTok background and it wasn't a TikTok video. Oh, God. Honestly, forget it. I'm just terrible with technology. I'm normally pretty good, actually. It's just normally I have everything really like planned and lined up. This software is definitely not very good for like doing things on the fly. So thanks for bearing with me. But that's this Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. I've posted in the Facebook group, if you're a member of actonthis.tv, a link to a Google form where you can submit your showreel for consideration. Well, it's not consideration. We just choose 5 randomly by a Google number generator. I've had an email today from me as well, if you're a premium member of Acts on This, with a link to that form as well. Do submit that form if you want your showreel to be in the mix. If it gets chosen, Chris will critique it. We'll go back and forth on it, give you feedback on it, what we think can, maybe change, maybe be re-edited, how it can ultimately have more impact on the casting directors and agents you're sending it to. And that's Thursday night. We normally have a couple of 100 reels submitted, so don't be mad if you don't get chosen. But if you join that session anyway, you will learn so much, because everything that we talk about when it comes to anybody's reel is applicable to everybody's reel. So do join us. I'm really going to make a concerted effort to make this like a definitive showreel surgery, that's evergreen, that you could watch any time, and really improve your reel. So that's it for this week, folks. Just gone 10 o'clock. Appreciate you being here. Sorry for all of the technical issues. I'm sure it was a laugh watching me just do it all terribly wrong, but did my best, and it's live, so at least it's live, don't you? Sarah says I'm working too hard. Oh, and Sally says you do a wonderful job. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate that. I do the best I can, ultimately. But appreciate it. If you're listening to this or you're watching this on the replay, you're not a member, do come and join the community. I'm not just saying it. I'm not trying to sell you anything that's shit. I'm trying to really give you a product that's helping you push your career forward so much faster than doing this on your own. You literally get to learn every single week from the very people who you're looking to employ you. Like, who better to actually get advice from those people? So at actonthis.tv, /live to check out the schedule, and come and be a part of the community, because it's not just those live sessions. There's a private community on actonthis.tv. There's our live meetups. There's bi-weekly coaching calls with me on Zoom and Petch. There's all kinds of extra stuff involved in your membership. There's not even just these calls, so it's super valuable. But thank you, everybody. I've got nothing else to play you now because I've used up all my videos, so there's nothing to finish with tonight. I'll just end this session in a second, but it really means the world you're spending this time with us, and I want to see you guys who are members on that session live on Thursday night, if you can be there. If you can't, it's okay. The replay will be in your members area on Friday. Until then, I'm going now. Love to you all. Really appreciate you being here. I'll speak to you very, very soon. Until next time, the immortal words, bye for now.